Come on. There we go. Hi, everybody. This is Ginger, and this is Ginger's chat show. Sorry, I'm fighting allergies right now. Really bad today. Anyway, so some of you have not come on yet. That's okay. You can always watch this later. I'm not that worried. So, anyway, I hope all is well with all of you. This is Hump Day. This is the slide in the week and everything. Um, so first of all, before I delve into the news, oh, you have my sympathy there, Nancy. We had that problem last year here when British Columbia had their wildfires up there, and they were trying to contain them. Most of the wildfires there was caused by dry lightning, and which, needless to say, the woods were very dry, and you know how that goes. And of course, you have some fire starters too that deliberately set fires, which is really stupid of them. So anyway, suggestion, Nancy. Go, of course, I know you probably have your windows closed, but get an air filter. You know, like either a wall plug-in air filter or a freestanding air filter, and that will help alleviate the smoke and everything. Okay? I have one here in my apartment, and it really comes in handy. Um, anyway, give you an update on my cat, Cyrano. He went to the vet Monday, and things are not looking good for him. Uh, his the medication, we had to up it again on him. You get two clicks of the medicine in the morning of this, 2 clicks in the morning and 1 click at night, trying to build him back up, and then after 2 weeks, he goes back to full 2 clicks in the morning, 2 clicks in the afternoon. He's lost a tiny little bit of weight, but the veterinarians begin to think there's something else that's at play preventing him from gaining weight, and she's beginning to think he may have the beginnings of lymphoma cancer. Uh, so I am setting money aside and everything. It may be at the end of next month or maybe sooner. Of may have to put him to sleep. Uh, he's 14 years old. He's been fighting this for a year and 6 months, and he's getting very close to the end of the 2 year mark as far as for hyperthyroidism. Um, so, uh, months from now, January 2024, it'll be 2 years since they bought it. And it's getting to the point now that he's eating, but he's not eating enough. I mean, he demands his lunch when he wants it, but he's not eating all the time. He's drinking some water, but not drinking enough. So he's somewhat sliding downhill. So pray for him. Again, he's 14 years old. So, and if he has this, they'll check him again next month. If he has lymphoma, then they could check see if he has that. If he does, then, you know, I don't have the money to give him a cancer treatment. And with his immune system being what it is right now, it wouldn't be worth it. I don't have the $2,000 or so dollars to take care of him through this and everything. I wish I did, but I don't. I just don't want to drag him through this. So anyway, that's what's going on with Cyrano. Now on to the next news. Of course, you know, he who shall not be named has been having his rants, if you will, and stupid rants. And the guy is so ignorant and so stupid, and he keeps putting his foot in his mouth and everything else. I don't know whether he realizes it or not or what, but he acts like a mafia boss. He's been attacking Jack Smith, threatening him and his wife, and you know what? I think they need to take off the kid gloves and throw the guy in jail and put him in solitary and keep him there. I don't care if he was quote unquote president of the United States. He didn't even act like one. He acted like a little toddler that wanted to do anything he wanted. That doesn't work that way. And he tried projecting and gaslighting and everything else on everybody. No. And even his enablers are gaslighting and projecting, and they need to be put in their place too. And people are saying, well, he'll be nominated again. I go, no, I don't think so. I think more and more people are waking up to what a stupid idiot he is. Right now, the last straw is that he had our national secrets, and he should not be having them. They should have been more, the staff there should have said, no, that goes back to the archives. It doesn't go with him. He had no business of having those, ever. And, he keeps saying, oh, well, then those are my papers and everything else. I go, no, they're not. They're not yours. Those belong to the United States. When it says top secret, confidential, highly classified documents, no, those belong to the United States. And they stay there. They don't belong to him. They don't belong to anybody. And when he does this endangers us, you and me, and other people. Like I said, they should take the kid gloves off and throw his ass in jail and keep it there. And muzzle him. And some of the neighbors, oh, well, they're taking away his rights and everything else. To go, really? He took rights away from other people. He took away rights of immigrant parents from their kids, keeping their kids and everything else. He separated families. That is kidnapping. In my view, that's kidnapping. It's what he done 4 years ago. The kids should have been found by now and brought back to their parents. Anybody that comes here in the United States for religious persecution or economic persecution or whatever, political persecution, have a right to stay here. They really do. They have that right. And there's some people that no, they don't. I go, well, what about your ancestors? What about the people before you that came here? What was their reason for coming here? Okay? Some just wanted a better life. Some just wanted to be safer. So what's wrong with that? Okay. Let's see. Anyway, the DOJ needs to muzzle him. They really do. You need to take off the kid gloves and muzzle him. And some think that he should be, when he's convicted, he should be under house arrest. No. He should be under house arrest. He should be in the federal prison in solitary. He should go to Supermax in Florence, Colorado. In other words, out of sight, out of mind. We don't want to hear anything about him again. Now, in the MAGA world, over there in, hold on a second, I need to answer a text. Hold on 1 minute. Just 1 minute, guys. I need to answer a text from a friend. Because I'm going in for my bone density test tomorrow. Yep. guys. Okay, now we got that squared away. Uh, anyway, on to this discussion. The mega rats as I call them, sorry guys, this is very important. Um, anyway, the mega rats need to be put in their place as well. Okay, McCarthy, Bolbert, Green, those guys need to be given the boot. Um, many of the committee members, the other GOP that are non-mega mega rats, in other words, they don't belong to the Freedom Caucus. They don't like the Freedom Caucus. They use common sense and use facts and everything else. Those GOP are going up against Green and others, and they've been putting them in their place by using facts. Please don't lump the GOP all in one basket. Don't do that. There are many different groups in the GOP. What you have worse than the extremists, the mega rats, those guys you have to worry about. Other ones that are like with common sense and decency, like Cheney and some of the others, they're trying to do their jobs. That's what they're trying to do. And Green and Boebert and McCarthy and Jordan are the ones that are trying. They're interfering with other GOP representatives and senators on their jobs. Those others, like the regular GOP, they're trying to represent their districts. That's what they're trying to do, which they should be doing, okay? But you have these bullies, Green, Bolbert, Jordan, McCarthy, those guys. You have those bullies that don't want the other guys to do their jobs. They interfere in it. So the guys that are want to do their jobs are pushing back. That's what they're doing. They're pushing back at them, which should be happening. Just a minute. The cottonwoods are flying, and I'm doing very good. So, we need to hold the mega rats accountable. Hold them in that. Now, the other part that really kind of bugs me is Cannon, Judge Cannon. She feels those 84 witnesses don't deserve protection. Well, yes, they do, because they are witnesses for the national security document theft, and they do deserve protection, and they should get protection. And I think the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals should slap her back or replace her with somebody else that's more impartial and says, yeah, they need to be protected. And Trump should not be having a list at all. He shouldn't. The only ones that should have the list is the DOJ, who is going to do the trial. Okay. Um. So, any case, we need to push back, solve problems, and talk to our senators, talk to our representatives. Even though if your representative is a red state representative or a Trump supporter or whatever it is, remind them who their boss is. Their boss is you. You're the boss. You tell them what to do, not the other way around. You tell them what to do. And if they are not going to listen, they go, well, guess what? Next year, since you're up for election, you're not going to get elected. You're not getting reelected. You're going to find your pay off. And somebody else will be taking your place that does want to perform public service. You want public service people in there. Because that's what it is. And did you know if there's a fact about Congress? Only 12% of the population here in the United States get to represent the Senate and the House in the U.S. Congress. Only 12%, which is a very small number. Okay? Now, as far as representation goes, let's talk about that. You have the U.S. territories. You have the U.S. Virgin Islands. You have, I think, Guam. U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, you have Puerto Rico. The territories, they should be states. They should be added into our states and not have territories anymore. I remember prior to my dad, I remember prior to us moving back to Washington State from Alaska, Alaska was at time was a territory. And I remember that year very well when it became a state. Okay, there was fireworks, there were celebrations, and everything everywhere in the state of Alaska. So I remember that. One time I was a resident of a territory. Of course, I was really young at the time, but that's what happened. And when it was voted in, we were voted in, and then I think 6 months later, this is 1959, 6 months later, Hawaii was voted in as a state. So there were 2 new states voted in that year. Well, we should be adding more new states, and those new states should have representation in the U.S. Congress. Also, I think First Nation citizens should have representation in Congress as well. In other words, everybody is inclusive and included and accepted. I don't like people like Gilbert and Green and McCarthy. Of course, McCarthy's a flip-flopper. He doesn't have the spine enough to put his foot down and say, no, this is the way it's going to be. And this is what's going to happen. And he needs to tell those 2 guys, if you're not careful, I'll find reasons to get you booted out of Congress. And that's what he should have done. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I saw on the news, which is really kind of surprising, remember that insurrection, or that, no, I wouldn't call it insurrection, but mutiny with the Wagner Group versus Russia? Russia's weaker than thought, okay? Putin is now, he's no longer at the Kremlin. He's somewhere else. He hightailed out of there when the Wagner Group was forcing its march on Russia, or on the Kremlin. And sooner or later, there's going to be another coup that may go after Putin, and people are sick and tired of what he's doing. He's messing up their economy, okay, uh, by this stupid war that he should have never started. He should have just left it alone. And um, also, he needs to stop arbitrarily murdering people who are against him. That Putin's the one that needs to be taken out. He's forgetting one little detail in history. You know what happened to dictators when they push their own people too far and too hard? They get done in. Okay? People don't want them around anymore. And it's the same way with Un. This guy is starving his own people. I'm talking about North Korea. He's starving his own people. And they're basically a hermit nation. I don't see how they survive. I think people should rise up, and I think the army should rise up and remove Un from power. Because that's not how you treat your own people. Okay? I don't like dictators. I hate dictators. They're bullies. You got some that are wimps. They don't deserve to be on this planet. Ever. I'm sorry if people think I'm wrong about this, but you know what? We've seen it, so much of it in our lifetime. You and me. We've seen it a lot. And we don't want them anymore. We don't want them here. Okay? And again, he should remember what happens to dictators when he pushes his people too far and too hard. It's not the first time that Russia had a civil war. Sorry. They're doing renovation work on a apartment complex next door. So, and they're putting a new roof on a condominium over here, kind of corner from me over here. So you hear knocking and pounding and everything else and saws. They're doing some work. So anyway, that's what we need to do. We need to push back. Now, as far as you want to contribute to various campaigns, do it. Some do it, but giving $1. Okay, a lot of the up and coming new people that want to give Holly a boot, some of the others, Green a boot, Bulbert a boot, McCarthy a boot, like $1 or $2. Okay, some of us are on a tight budget. Like me, I'm on somewhat of a tight budget, and I'm running my business on a shoestring. Okay, so you have to be careful where you want your money to go. But you know, do other means of helping them by word of mouth and say, hey, this is a good person, vote for them, get out the vote. If you can't contribute, do it this way. Say, voting is very important. Okay. So, anyway. Alright, well, it's almost end of my, yeah, 44 minutes over. Why is it 44 minutes? I haven't got that there yet. Clock on this is wrong. It says 44 minutes. It's not 44. It is almost 30 minutes. Anyway, okay, I will see you guys on, let me check my schedule. 1 minute, let me check my calendar. Okay, I'll see you guys on Friday, June 30th. And of course, you know that we'll be going into Saturday, July 1st. And of course, next week it already is 4th of July. So I'll see you guys on Friday, and I'll probably see you on John's meeting tomorrow night. And of course I'll be having my bone density test tomorrow. And be sure, guys, to get that done. Very important. Okay? What if some of them don't know what it's about is to make sure you don't have any deterioration problems of your bones, especially your spine, your hips, especially your hips, because that's where your breaks mostly happen. I've been lucky so far. I've been like knocking on wood. Because I drink lots of milk, and that's the other thing you need to do is drink lots of milk. So, okay, I will see you guys later. I'll see you on Friday. Take care. Love you all, and I will post this on my YouTube channel. Okay? Love you all. Bye-bye.